Valerie Lewton, Final Destination, 2000. Valerie Lewton isn't just unlucky, she's practically fate's chew toy. Picture this, you survive a plane crash thanks to a creepy premonition, thinking life's giving you a second chance. But nope, life's just playing Uno and saving that reverse plus draw 4 for later. Valerie's death isn't quick, it's like fate had a checklist. First, a piece of her computer explodes and slices her throat. Already brutal, right? But she stumbles to the kitchen, bleeding out, just trying to get a towel. Instead, she falls, slams into a knife, and drives it deeper when a chair collapses on her. And just in case that wasn't dramatic enough, her entire house blows up. Like, come on. That's not a death scene, that's a final exam in pain and chaos. Her death is like watching someone try to walk through a Lego-covered hallway in the dark, except every step triggers a booby trap straight from a Saw movie. Valerie Lewton represents the Final Destination franchise's central joke. You can't cheat death, but death can turn your living room into a Michael Bay set piece. She didn't just die, she failed a QuickTime event in real life. Sam Merlotte, True Blood, 2008 through 2014. Sam Merlotte isn't just unlucky, he's a walking magnet for heartbreak, chaos, and emotional trauma. In a town full of vampires, werewolves, and literal gods, Sam's the guy just trying to mind his bar and turn into a dog once in a while. But the universe? It had other plans, and they weren't good. First, his girlfriend gets murdered. Then, just when he thinks he might find some peace, his long-lost brother shows up. A thief, a liar, and an all-around mess who drags Sam into one disaster after another. Still hanging in there? Great. Now throw in a seductive Maenad, basically a supernatural party monster, who mind controls Sam into dangerous, nearly fatal situations. And just to top it off, the one woman who might have offered him something good turns out to be a literal fairy and still says nah. It's like Sam keeps opening the wrong door in a haunted house where every room gets worse. And unlike the vampires with their sexy danger or the werewolves with their pack pride, Sam's stuck as the guy who always gets hurt while trying to do the right thing. He shapeshifts into animals, but never into someone who catches a break. Larry Gopnik, A Serious Man, 2009. Larry Gopnik is the kind of man who tries to play by the rules. He's a physics professor, quietly going about his life in 1960s suburbia. But life doesn't care. One day his wife suddenly asks for a divorce. She wants to leave him for a smug family friend named Cy Abelman, who somehow manages to be polite and condescending at the same time. Larry, stunned, tries to process it all, but his world just keeps crumbling. His kids don't respect him. His daughter steals money from his wallet, and his son is more invested in Hebrew school weed deals than anything else. Meanwhile, his troubled brother Aaron has moved into the house and spends most of his time draining a cyst in the bathroom. Larry's job becomes shaky too. Anonymous letters are being sent to the university, accusing him of moral turpitude, and he's under review for tenure. Even when he tries to do the right thing, like not taking a bribe from a student, he gets punished. And just when it feels like things can't get any worse, they do. A phone call from his doctor, a tornado in the distance. It's not just bad luck, it's like the universe is testing how far a man can be stretched before he snaps. Steve Rogers, Captain America, the First Avenger, 2011. Steve Rogers wanted one thing: to fight for his country, but the army saw a 5-foot-something twig with asthma and told him to sit this one out. Still, Steve kept trying until he got selected for a secret super soldier program. Boom, one injection later and he's built like a Greek statue, but instead of heading straight to the battlefield, he's paraded around in tights as propaganda. Yeah, Captain America starts his hero journey as a dancing poster boy. Eventually, he sneaks into enemy territory and earns his stripes rescuing his fellow soldiers, but the cost is brutal. He loses his best friend Bucky, falling into a ravine during a mission. That grief hangs over him like a shadow. Just when Steve finally finds a sense of purpose, he gets one moment of peace, a date planned with Peggy Carter. But fate slams the brakes. He crashes a plane into the Arctic to stop a deadly attack, sacrificing himself and vanishing into the ice. He survives, sure, but wakes up 70 years later in a world he doesn't recognize. His friends are gone, his dance with Peggy never happened. It's not just being unlucky, it's being stuck in a life that never lets him catch up. Rachel Dawes, The Dark Knight, 2008. Rachel Dawes was one of the few genuinely good people in Gotham City. Smart, driven, and idealistic, she worked as an assistant district attorney and tried to fix a broken system from within. Sounds like a hero, right? But in Gotham, good intentions don't protect you. They put a target on your back. She's stuck in a strange triangle between Bruce Wayne, her childhood friend turned caped vigilante, and Harvey Dent, the face of legal justice in the city. Both men love her, both are on dangerous paths, and Rachel? She's caught right in the middle. She doesn't want to be rescued. She wants to live a life where justice doesn't depend on billionaires in suits or madmen with scars. But that's not Gotham. The Joker forces Batman and Gordon into an impossible choice: save Rachel or Harvey. They race to stop the bombs, but the addresses were switched. Bruce thinks he's saving Rachel, but finds Harvey instead. Rachel realizes what's happening just moments before everything goes white. She dies not because of anything she did wrong, but because two men, despite their best efforts, couldn't protect her. In Gotham, even the best people are pawns in someone else's war, and Rachel, she's the one who paid the final price. Romeo and Juliet, 1996. This story has everything: guns, Catholic guilt, chaotic parties, and two ridiculously dramatic teenagers in love. Romeo and Juliet fall for each other hard and fast, like marriage in 24 hours fast. Their families hate each other, their friends keep dying, and yet somehow they're convinced love will conquer all. Spoiler, it doesn't. Juliet's plan was actually pretty smart. She takes a potion to fake her own death, planning to wake up in her tomb and escape with Romeo. It could have worked, if the letter explaining the plan had actually reached him, but no. The world's slowest postal service drops the ball. Romeo gets the news secondhand, and he rushes to her tomb, thinking she's gone for real. He drinks poison. She wakes up, sees him dead, and stabs herself. Tragic? Yes. Preventable? Very. It's a masterclass in how one undelivered message can ruin everything. The only silver lining is that their deaths finally force the Capulets and Montagues to squash their feud, though it's too little too late. In the end, Romeo and Juliet's love didn't survive, but it did manage to guilt two powerful families into finally acting like grown-ups. So, yay? Dr. Ross Jennings, Arachnophobia, 1990. Dr. Ross Jennings just wanted a peaceful life in the countryside. He moves to a quiet little town with his family, ready to settle down, maybe enjoy some fresh air. One small problem: he has a crippling fear of spiders. You'd think the universe would take it easy on a guy like that. Instead, it laughs. Unbeknownst to him, a deadly spider from the jungles of South America has hitched a ride to his new town, bred with a local spider, and now there's an army of venomous killers turning his dream home into an 8-legged nightmare. For Ross, every wall, creak, and ceiling corner becomes a life or death guessing game. He tries to convince the town that something's seriously wrong, but nobody listens, because horror movie towns are always 100% chill until people start dying. Eventually, he finds himself in a basement deathmatch with a massive spider queen while trying not to pass out from fear. It's like buying your dream house, only to discover the fine print includes with bonus spider lair. And while Ross survives, we all learn something important. If your biggest fear is spiders, they will absolutely find you. Luke Skywalker, Star Wars, 1977 through 83. Luke Skywalker goes from a whiny farm boy to Jedi Knight and galactic savior, but wow, does the path suck. First, his aunt and uncle are incinerated. Then he finds out his worst enemy, Darth Vader, galaxy-wide terrorist and champion of evil, is actually his dad. Rough. Still, Luke pushes on. He trains with Yoda, faces down the Empire, and tries to redeem his villainous father. And just when it seems like maybe he has a shot at happiness, we remember, he kissed his sister. Yes, Leia. They didn't know at the time, but that doesn't make it any less awkward for literally everyone involved. Luke ends the trilogy alive, respected, and spiritually whole, but also pretty emotionally bruised. He saves the galaxy, sure, but at the cost of his innocence, family trauma, and one extremely uncomfortable family reunion. At least Han got the girl. So yes, Luke wins the war, but not before enduring one of the most cursed DNA plots in family history. May the therapy be with him. John McClane, Die Hard, 1988 through 2007. All John McClane wanted was to patch things up with his wife and enjoy a peaceful Christmas. Instead, he walks into a skyscraper full of terrorists barefoot with only a tank top and a bad attitude. He saves the day, of course. Then it happens again, and again, and again. By Die Hard 2, even John's fed up. How can the same shit happen to the same guy twice? He yells, bleeding in an airport. And yet, every few years, terrorists pop up wherever McClane goes, like he's on some cursed mailing list for disaster. Meanwhile, his marriage falls apart. Holly leaves, his kids grow distant, and he's left with scars, both physical and emotional. Even when he does reconnect with his daughter and live free or die hard, it's only because more terrorists show up and start throwing cars at helicopters. John never wanted to be a hero, he just wanted his family back. But instead, he's forever stuck between saving the world and watching it fall apart. At this point, the man doesn't celebrate holidays, he survives them. Because if Christmas and McClane's around, something's about to explode. Greg Heffley, The Diary of a Wimpy Kid, 2007 through present. Greg Heffley isn't fighting galactic wars or dodging assassins. He's just trying to survive middle school, but somehow that's where his bad luck shines brightest. From the moment he walks through those school doors, life seems to have it out for him. He's not cool, not athletic, and definitely not socially bulletproof. All he wants is to be popular, or at least not be the guy everyone points at during lunch. Every plan Greg makes to boost his status backfires in spectacular fashion. He joins the school play, ends up in a singlet and covered in makeup. Starts a haunted house business with Rowley, someone's mom shuts it down. Even simple things, like trying to impress a girl or avoid the cheese touch, turn into complete disasters. To make matters worse, his best friend Rowley somehow keeps winning. He breaks his arm and becomes a playground celebrity, Greg tries the same stunt and ends up grounded, or humiliated. Every time he thinks he's finally winning, the universe drops a banana peel under his feet. Greg might be a bit selfish, a bit clueless, but at the core, he's just a kid trying to figure it out. Unfortunately, the world keeps handing him L's and writing it down in ink.